So we are going to start this video off with another Facebook marketplace sale. Today we have these guys right here, these Nikes. About a month and a half ago, or maybe 2 months ago, I found these at a yard sale for $5. I have them currently listed on eBay and Poshmark, but I'm happy to do a local sale. I avoid all the fees and the shipping and stuff like that. I'm going to I have the GoPro on. I'm getting kind of a weird vibe. You know how sometimes you get weird vibes from people? Just the way this guy's talking, and he showed up twice already before even telling me that he was going. And you can probably tell I look a little tired today. I didn't go to sleep until like 4 a.m. last night. And this guy showed up twice already. He messaged me and said, I'm already here. That was like an hour ago. And then he messaged me right back like 5 minutes later and said, I'm here again. So I don't know. I'm getting that weird kind of vibe. So I'm just going to record just for my safety. I also remember hearing on a podcast I used to listen to, a guy that used to do a lot of Facebook marketplace sales for shoes, that he's been robbed at least 2 or 3 times where people take the 2 shoes and they don't pay them. So he recommends just to give them 1 shoe at a time, have them pay, and then give them the other shoe. So I'll kind of fill it out when I get there. I might end up doing that strategy, just give them 1 shoe at a time. But he's already there. I don't want to keep him waiting any longer. Let's head down the street and hopefully this meetup goes good. Hey, what's going on? Are you waiting for the shoes?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry about that, man.
No problem.
If you want to check, I have the other one there, but if you want to look at them, that's what they look
No,
like.
it's okay.
You got it?
I got it.
All right. Are you doing cash or Cash App?
Cash.
Cash? All right.
Yeah.
They're the right size and everything for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
12.
35. All right. I appreciate it.
Thank
Hey,
you,
thank you, man. Have a good one. All right. So that went surprisingly smoothly. That went surprisingly smoothly. $35. That guy, as you saw, he just looked at him and bought it. I got the wrong vibe from him through the messages, but it's better safe than sorry. So $35 in my pocket. I avoid all the fees from eBay and stuff like that. So nice little sale to start off the day. Not sure exactly what we're going to get into today. Today is Sunday. We got the NFL playoffs going on, so I'm probably going to relax with my kids a little bit and watch that. But we do have some eBay sales that I want to talk about. A few pretty good sales that we made on there. And then we'll see where else the day takes us today. So it's actually 2 days later now. I didn't end up doing anything else for the rest of the day. Like I said, we just lounged around. I watched football all day with my kids. And then yesterday, there wasn't much going on that was exciting. I just shipped a few items to the post office. I started sorting through some inventory that I'm going to have in a Whatnot show. And that's what I'm actually doing right now. I have my show in about an hour and a half. So right now I'm kind of transforming my bedroom into the Whatnot little studio, I guess you want to call it, the little setup that I'm going to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my table here in the back. I'm going to bring in all the inventory, start setting it up. And then I have to start creating like little shipping profiles, because on Whatnot, shipping is extremely complicated at first. I'm 6 shows in, so I'm barely starting to get the hang of it. I think the very first show, I lost like $70 in shipping. Luckily, Whatnot took care of me because I was new. I didn't know what I was doing. But that could have been easily a $70 mistake that came out of my pocket. So I'm still trying to learn the whole shipping stuff on Whatnot. I have my beanie on. I haven't even combed my hair, so I need to do that. But usually I like to start getting ready about 2 hours before, because I have to start setting up the room. I have to start creating all the shipping profiles and just get everything ready, get the lighting set up and stuff like that. So I'll show you how I set up. I'll probably have the camera rolling as I'm doing the show, so you can see a little behind the scenes stuff as far as like the Whatnot shows go. And then at the end of the Whatnot show, we'll go ahead and break down the numbers, see exactly how we did on today's show. But let's go ahead and get this set up before I run out of time today. The first thing I always do is I always bust out this table right here. This is another storage unit find. We found like 4, I think, of these inside a storage unit. And they've been clutch for like the yard sales and when we sold at the flea market. So this is what I always bust out. I'm going to try a little bit of a different setup today. I've been watching a lot of Whatnot shows just to get like ideas and inspiration and stuff. Usually I'll have it long ways. And a lot of times I'll be behind the table and I'll have the camera up here in the front. Sometimes I'll have it behind me, like I'll have it all the way like this. I'll put all the inventory back here and I'll be in front grabbing stuff as I need it back here. But I think what I want to try today is I want to try it long ways, and I'm going to set up all my inventory this way, and I'm going to have the camera pointing down at the table. So it's going to be like this. I'm going to have the camera in front just pointing down here, and then I can just unload stuff from back here, put it here and show it on the table. I think that's going to be a better setup. I'm going to try that today. It might be a little hard on my back now that I'm standing here. It's going to be a lot of twisting and turning, but I'm going to try it, see if that works out a little better, because then I can display a lot of stuff back here. People can see it on camera in the back. And then if usually I work with like big lots of stuff, like it's hard to hold up big lots in front of the camera individually. And then usually I'll have to take the camera off the tripod, bring it over here, put it back on the tripod. So I think I'm just going to keep it there. And then I'll just lay everything down on the table, have it angled down so they can see everything right here in front. And then this is another storage unit find. There's so much good stuff that comes out of these units, not just to resell, but to keep for ourselves. And I've said this plenty of times. It's extremely hard for me to keep things as personal stuff. I like to just flip things over and make some profit. But here's another thing that I kept out of a storage unit. Unfortunately, it wasn't the most high quality thing. On my very first Whatnot show, I used this and this thing broke. I don't know if you can see it, but my wife had to glue that back together. So this is what I use. This is actually pretty cool though. I'm liking this. I think I'm gonna buy myself another one since this one's broke. It stores away really easy. It like breaks down and stores away easily, but then it also sits really tall. Like before I had a little tripod and I had to bring a little table to put it on top of. And that was just something else that took up extra space. So now I have this guy. My phone, this comes in built in there. My phone props right up on there. And then there's my lighting all in one. My lighting and my tripod all in one. And then next I'm gonna bring in all my inventory. I can slide a lot of it underneath the table. I have a lot of stuff back here that I can put. And then I'll just start laying it all up on the table here and start displaying it. So here's a bunch of the kind of stuff that I have. So here's a bunch of Hello Kitty plush. I have some of those left. I have some of these are a Switch grip, Nintendo Switch controller grips. Some vintage toys in here. Some new, a new seal thing. Some more little vintage toys in here. And here's some more toys. People were really liking this setup last time when I ran a toy show. So all this stuff right here is kind of like little toy lots. So each one of these is kind of like themed. And I just run them all in lots. Some little dolls. So all this stuff right here, whole bag full of like little Peppa Pig toys. All these right here are different lots of toys. People were jumping on these last time. So hopefully they'll do good again today. That's the thing with these live shows is like one day you can have a really good show. You run the same show a day or two later and then it tanks. So it's all kind of like a figuring out game to see what works and what doesn't. But hopefully these do good again today. And then these right here are just all a bunch of themed plush that I put in different bins. Like this one right here is all shimmer and shine plush. These are all like teddy bear plush. The thing I like about Whatnot is you can get the flat rate boxes. And for $9.21, everything that you can stuff into those boxes ship for $9.21. So that's a good way to lot a lot of these items up. Is just stuff that thing packed and then go ahead and auction it off at a low shipping price. And that usually gets people to bite on these bigger lots. But there's teddy bears. This whole one is all like Gabby's dollhouse plush. Unicorn, like this whole thing is full of unicorn plush. These right here are some Peppa Pig. I think some of those are vintage too. Some Peppa Pig plush in there. Just some more toys. Big Lego set. These are the things that you have to weigh out because this is like a unique item as far as like the weight goes. It's not like a plush or something small. So I had to individually weigh this one out. So there's that. Just some more toys, some Legos. This whole tin is just full of like bath type toys. So I might be able to lot all those up and see if anyone's interested in those. And then these right here, this is all full of Disney plush. So let me get this down and show you. So this whole tub is all Disney. Like a lot of these have the Disney park tags. There's one right there, Stitch. So this whole thing is all nothing but Disney. So I don't know exactly how I'm gonna auction these off yet. I don't know if I'm gonna do these individually or like I said in big lots in the flat rate boxes. But yeah, all this right here is Disney. And I have one more tote full of just random plush. Let me go grab those real quick. All right, this thing is massive. You can see how heavy this thing is, but this is all full of just regular plush, just random stuff. But again, this thing is like, I can barely get the lid on. So there's more plush all inside here. These are not really themed. These are just, I mean, these are little. It's Pet Shop. I think I have 2 of those. I think these are called like Squeezamals or something like that. But the rest are just all random plush that I might do like buyer's choice on. Maybe start them at $2 and start auctioning some of these, because I need to get through some of these. I have way too many plush. Those and these together. So hopefully we can move through a lot of these today. So this is kind of what I had in mind right here when I said long ways. So I want to place everything in the back there. That gives me kind of like a little display wall so people can see that as they come in. And then right here you can kind of see the angle that I'm talking about. So as I grab things and place them here on the table, they're able to, I know the lighting is not the best, they're able to just see everything on here as I'm displaying them. So it makes it a lot easier instead of just holding it up by hand. I'm going to have a bunch of stuff stacked up here. That big tub of plush I can probably put underneath the table down there. And then, like I said, I have all this stuff still right here. All this is full of Zoom Zooms. This is pretty cool. Let me show you this here. So this whole thing is stuffed. Let me put it on the table. There's different like characters, some with costumes from different movies and stuff like that. So I still don't know how to do these. I don't know if I should do these individually, because there's a lot of cool ones in there, or if I should do them in lots. I haven't decided yet. I'll kind of go with the flow of the show depending on how that goes. But that's pretty cool right there. We found that in that same Hello Kitty unit as well. So that's pretty much going to be my setup. I'm going to start weighing some of these things out and creating those little profiles inside my Whatnot show. I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so I got my scale set up right here. I think I'm gonna leave it here during the show in case I need to weigh anything out. But for the most part, everything pretty much weighs the same. And Whatnot works all in shipping weights. So you can see that is 4 ounces. And then I'll show you what it looks like inside Whatnot. So 4 ounces, that's 3 ounces. I think the first weight is like 4 to 7 ounces. See, that's 14 ounces. So that's going to be a different weight class. So let me show you what I mean. So these two are, I'll say average about 4 ounces. So what I want to do, hopefully you can see this. I go into my show here, go into my shop. So right now I don't have any live listings in my auction. So I'm going to add one. You want to create a temporary listing. A quality listing is something that stays on there all the time. Temporary, it just ends after this show. So we're going to create a temporary listing. I'm just going to do storage unit finds. Title. I'm just going to name this one small. So small random pool auction. We'll start these little lots at $3. And you can always edit it as you go throughout the show. 15 seconds. I don't want that too long. So right here is pretty important. Quantity. You can put as much as you want. Like, you don't want to run out because it's just going to keep repeating itself throughout the show. So I'll just put 100. Sorry, I'm not doing the best camera angle here. So 100. This goes away after the show anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So 100 of those, so it repeats 100 times. So here's the important part, shipping profile. So I can go in and make custom ones. I might have to do that for some of my dolls, which I'll show you here in a second. But I already made some in the past for plush, flat rate. That's for like clothing. I can fit up to 8 clothing items in one flat rate box. There's a large flat rate. That's what I'm going to be using for when I fill up boxes full of like toys. But these two right here, we saw they were an average of 4 ounces. So I'm going to use the, and you want to take into consideration the packing supply. So if you put it in a box or a poly mailer, you want to add that weight to this. So these were about 4 ounces. I think they'll ship 4 to 7. Let me see what, so these so far are 4 to 7. This one was 13. So I'll probably put that as a pound because once I get shipping supplies in there. 10. I'll probably get these as a pound as well. Let me just see. This is probably 4 to 7. Yeah, that's another 4. So let's do 4 to 7 ounces. Save. So that's saved as 4.7 ounces. And there's nothing else in there that I need. So that one's ready to go. That one's called a small. So anytime I'm running these, I'm going to switch to smalls. And that should be saved under the 4 to 7 ounce profile. Add the listing. There we go. So small random pull starting at $3. What I could do for these is I can name these medium. So temporary listing, shipping profile. Those are going to be a pound because they're 13 ounces plus the shipping supply. So let's do 1 pound on those. So now I have my small and my mediums. Most of this stuff should fall in the small and mediums. All the plus should fall probably under the small or medium for the bigger ones. These are the ones that are going to be a little more tricky. So that took me about 20 minutes. I got everything set up and put into different weight classes. I got a small, a medium, a large, and then I have my flat rate boxes for anyone that wants to stuff it with toys. Like over here, I haven't even gone through all these toys yet. These are all just like miscellaneous loose toys. So what I'll do is I'll just put them up here and just pull them out. If someone's interested in just one thing from in here, I can just run one. Or if they want to fill up a box, I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. They can do that as well. So all 3 of these tubs, I haven't really even looked through. This one right here is all Easter. There's plush, there's Easter baskets, all types of stuff in there. All my dolls, I have a bunch of like little baby dolls. All this is full of Barbies and Disney princesses. Here's all my flat rate boxes. So if anyone does want to fill one of these up, I have them ready to go. I can just take them out, put them on here, and then just start filling it up. And people can buy those. Again, $9.21 shipping on one of those. Another thing I like to have ready is materials. I learned this from my first couple shows. These are all to put people's names on those. I'll show you those in a second. I always like to have like little bags in case people buy a bunch of like little loose toys. I have these little bags. I also have this thing full of Walmart bags just in case I need to throw some stuff in there. I don't really like to tape things up like individually number. What I like to do, I might change this in the future, but for now this is working for me. So I'll have a tub or a little crate for each buyer. So as, let's say buyer number 1 comes in and they start their pile, I'll put one of these as whatever their name is. Let's say buyer number 1. I'll tape it onto there. And every time they buy, I'll just throw it into their tub. At the end of the show, I can just pick everything out of that tub, put it into one of the boxes, and they're good. So buyer 1, 2, 3, 4. I have this one, and I have plenty more over there in the bathroom if I need more. But this is how I like to set it up. So I just put it all in tubs. As they buy, I just throw it into one of these. So I pretty much have my show all set up. It's 11:40, so I have 20 minutes to go. I'm just gonna do some last minute little adjustments here. I set up all my shipping profiles. I set up my giveaways. Giveaways are really important on Whatnot. It's not for the reason that you think it is. I'm actually gonna either make a video or maybe like a reel or a short video on why you should be doing giveaways on Whatnot if you are selling on Whatnot, but that's for a whole different video. Right now, we're gonna get all set up, final adjustments. I'll have the camera rolling for a little bit as I do the show. I'll probably end up going for maybe 2 hours, an hour to 2 hours, depending on how the show's going. If it's going good, I have a lot of time today. That's why I like to do my shows on days where I don't have anything else scheduled. That way, if I need to go longer, I could. So I can go up to like 3-4 hours if I need to. Hopefully the show does go that good and I can keep on rolling, but I probably honestly brought out way too many things. But I like to have a lot of stuff rather than not enough, and I'm scrambling around looking for more things. But let's get this rolling and see how it goes. My goal for every show is to make $210 net. That's my new goal that I have set up for Whatnot. I actually have another whiteboard that I'm working on outside. I'll probably do that on the next video. I have this one right here that I was doing all my numbers on, but I think I'm gonna use that just for eBay, and then I have another one that I'm gonna hang up just for Whatnot. But enough of that. Let's get the show started. We got 19 minutes to go. So I'll see you as soon as the show starts. All right, we're ready to go. I'm about to hit live on the phone here and we're gonna get this started. Let's see how this goes. Fingers crossed. What's going on, guys? Welcome in, welcome in. I should have worn my glasses. I'm trying a new setup today and I'm already seeing that it's gonna be really difficult to make this work. I need a second device. so I can see it from over here so I don't have to do this. Because now every time I run, I'm going to have to press everything on the phone here. Val, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. The booklet's in there. I shouldn't have dropped all of it out, but a bunch of loose Legos. Shig down, thank you, thank you. Oh man, that was total chaos. The show is now over. I feel like I'm losing my voice. It's 3:50, so I went for almost 4 hours. My lips are all dry. Oh my God, this is what the aftermath looks like right here. We sold quite a bit of stuff. These are all the bins that you saw before the show that were empty. That's a buyer there, another buyer. Each one of those is a different buyer. This is just dolls that we didn't sell through. This is just stuff that I need to put away. This stuff didn't sell. This was all like Disney, the Disney plush. I didn't really go through a lot of this stuff. I scanned it at the end of the show, but the way I had it organized, people weren't really able to see it that good because it was all in bins. But we sold through a lot of stuff here. I haven't even looked at the final numbers yet. There's a couple more boxes from this buyer. Teresa, thank you so much. She actually gave us a tip during the show, so I'm really appreciative for that. It's just total chaos in here. This is what the shows usually look like after I'm done. So let's look at this together. I'm not sure how much we did in sales, but let me look here. I'm gonna turn the phone around so we can both look at this together. Usually Whatnot is pretty good at giving you a quick summary. So it should show us right in here how much we ended up doing. Got a bunch of followers. So there's the summary. I haven't clicked into that yet, but let's see if we can get in there. $222 in sales, 48 orders, 3 hours and 44 minutes. So 48 total orders. That's a little more items than that because a lot of the orders were bundled. So there can be like 4 or 5 items in one order, but that's not bad at all. Like I said, my goal was $210 for each show. It's gonna be less than that. It's like you can take 25% off of that for the Whatnot fees. So 222 minus 25%. I can't do math right now. My brain is gone. But let's just call it 175 or something like that maybe. Once I get everything shipped and all that stuff, I'll update you later in this video on exactly how much net profit we did. We also did a few giveaways. I think I did 2 giveaways. So that's like another $10 that got taken off. But overall, I think that was a successful show. I need to go eat. I haven't ate since the morning. I'm going to get all this shipped out. I don't think you really care how I ship this stuff. I don't think I really need to show that. So I'm going to start working on that and I'll check back in with you on the exact net sales after I'm done with the shipping. So here's all the final numbers after I finished up the shipping. Again, gross sales of $222. We did net sales of $176. I don't believe that the $10 tip is included in there. I saw something on Whatnot that it said it could take 3 to 4 days to process and hit your account. So we're gonna say $186 net. We had 48 total orders. We had a total of 9 buyers. 4 of those were first-time buyers and 5 were returning buyers. So that's a nice mix of returning and new buyers. And then again, we ran for just under 4 hours. So that's gonna do it for this one. I know it was a bit long, but I wanted to show you a little bit of behind the scenes of what goes into doing one of these Whatnot shows. Even though it's a lot of fun to run them, there's a lot of work that goes into it with the prepping, doing the actual show depending on how long you do it for, and then you have the shipping. So it's a lot of work, but I really do enjoy doing them. That's why I'm trying to push it to like 2 to 3 shows per week. We'll see how we end up doing on that. We did have a handful of eBay sales that I wanted to talk about, but this video is already getting way too long. So here on my next video, we'll start off with the eBay sales that we did over the last couple days. But as always, I appreciate you watching and I'll see you on the next one.